What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I basically wanted to ask or pose a question and get you guys' thoughts on, are the Milwaukee Bucks the most complete and dangerous team right now in the NBA? I say that because upon watching them this evening, they did play the Detroit Pistons. They did win that game tonight. They are 6-0. It is relatively very, very early to say whether or not they can make it to the NBA Finals. But after watching them this evening, I kind of got the thought just came to mind that the Milwaukee Bucks may be, in my opinion, the most complete team top to bottom. I mean, we already know they have Giannis, Drew Holiday. They don't have Chris Middleton right now at all. Bobby Portis is playing very well in his role. Brook Lopez is playing well in his role. Grayson Allen does, contribute. Wesley Matthews off the bench. They don't have Joe Ingles. They didn't have Pat Connaughton tonight. And they still put together a good enough win. Even though Detroit did give them, a run for their money towards the end of the game. I seen times where Milwaukee was kind of laxed in the second half. Sometimes when you do have the big lead, you expect teams to lie down and let you just run over them after you get the big lead. But after watching the Pistons over the last week, I can honestly say Dwayne Casey have them playing really, really hard. Like, when you look at young teams like the Pistons, and it's all going to come together eventually, I think. But right now, that's a video for another day. The Bucks, to me, top to bottom, coaching, play calling, guys getting to their spots, making plays for each other. Defensively, you have a superstar in Giannis who arguably has what it takes to be the MVP this season so far, right? It's still early. Has what it takes to be Defensive Player of the Year, but it's still early. I can honestly say when I look at the Milwaukee Bucks, they are very dangerous. They have shooters. One of their better players isn't currently playing. And they're still finding ways to win games in different ways. Yes, we all know what Giannis is capable of, but Drew Holiday hit a very big three in the fourth quarter tonight. Brook Lopez played really, really well tonight. And like I said, every team needs a guy like a Bobby Portis. Every team needs a glue guy. Every team needs a guy that will scrum and go after loose balls and, get the crowd into it. Every team needs a player like that because energy and momentum is a very real and big thing, especially in basketball, where games could get away from you when teams go on runs. So tonight, like I said, I just had the question and the thought came to mind about how deep the Bucks are as a team, how complete they are as a team. Just looking at top to bottom, just looking at their entire roster. I believe they have at least right now, I think they went at least 8 men. I think they went at least 8 or 9 men in the rotation tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I know I seen Wesley Matthews come off the bench. So I think I seen Carver come. I think Ibaka. So they did go about 8, 9 in the rotation. Like I said, it's still early. We know when the playoff comes, the rotations shorten up, and guys don't get as many minutes as they did in the regular season. But what I will say is, just to go back on my thought and continue it's like, I feel like when I do watch Milwaukee, I'm looking at a team that can ultimately go very deep in the playoffs. Does this remind me of that team that won they won almost close to 60 games, or they did win 60 games that one season? Does this remind me of that? Because they didn't win the championship that year, but can they be a formidable opponent to anybody in the East? Yes. Do they look like the favorite to come out of the East right now? Yes. They look like the favorite to win it all, honestly. They're playing better defense than Golden State. Their talent is more cohesive than Brooklyn. They look better than a number of teams like Philadelphia. And, when it comes to if you was to bank your money on a 7-game series with the Bucks versus pretty much anybody, they have a chance. And when Chris Middleton come back, the conversation is going to change. The conversation is going to be, oh, the Bucks are very dangerous now. What about when Pat Connaughton comes back? What about when they activate Joe Ingles? I mean, we're talking about a team other than the Clippers, right? The Clippers come to mind when I say deep, rotational players, but Kawhi don't play, so I really can't hang my hat on saying whether or not they will be a formidable opponent versus the Bucks. But again, it's early in the season. I could be just, ramping myself up a little too much about them or jumping on the Bucks bandwagon too early per se. But I watched them play, and the eye test don't lie. You cannot not see what's going on with that team. When they do get their first loss, because they're not going to go 82-0. I don't feel like it's going to send waves through the league. Now, let's say they go on a 6-game losing streak. Then we're having a different conversation about how good or how deep the Bucks are, or how much can they impact in a playoff series and things of that nature. We know what certain teams are capable of. We know what certain players are capable of. And I feel like having a Giannis at the forefront, having a Drew Holiday, having a Brook Lopez, when Chris Middleton returns, and having a host of role players that know their position on the team. If one guy's down or two guys are down, you have other players that will uplift their game to another level. Maybe instead of you grabbing 3 rebounds, you might grab 6. Instead of you averaging 10, maybe now we need you to average 15. That's the type of thing you need when you're trying to build upon a championship contender. And the Bucks are not so far removed from their last championship. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys feel like the Bucks are the most complete team? Do you guys feel like their roster is one that, we should be talking more about? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network. And I catch you guys on the next video.